Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our session today, Sustainable Microfinance in Jordan, as part of our webinar series, Sustainable Microfinance in the MENA region. These webinar series are financed by the MENA Technical Assistance Facility and are implemented in partnership with EDERA Sustainable Solutions and the local microfinance networks. In this case, for Jordan, we have worked together with TAMEYA, the Jordan Microfinance Network. Our media partner is FinDev Gateway, and we invite you to follow their channels, the English portal, French, and also in Arabic, where they will be sharing about these sessions and the contents that we will be sharing. To get started, I would like to share with you some quick housekeeping rules. We're offering interpretation in French and Arabic, so you are welcome to select the language of your preference. We invite you also to introduce yourself in the chat and feel free to ask questions throughout the workshop, and please select everyone so that everybody can read your comments or questions. As you have seen, this is a Zoom meeting so that it is possible to see with whom or who are attending and also connect directly. Our goal is to enable here a space for exchange and networking within the region and beyond. And to our speakers and also for the participants that will be participating and posing their questions, a friendly reminder to please mute yourself when you are not talking so that there are no interferences with the other panelists. Today, the session is hosted by Katia Morton from Finance in Motion for Sanat Fund for MSME's Technical Assistance Facility and Nisrin Al-Kasafne from TAMEYA Jordan Microfinance Network. I will be your moderator, Natalia Real Pecarrillo, Director of EDERA Sustainable Solutions. After the presentations of the hosts and an introduction of the results of the study that we have conducted last year from my side, we will have two speakers from Microfund for Women, Mrs. Budur Al-Hiari, and also Tam Wilcom, represented by Mrs. Abir Obva. We're very much looking forward to learn from the experiences from the microfinance institutions in green inclusive finance and also discuss what are the challenges and opportunities in Jordan today. So with this introduction, I would like to give the floor to Katarina Martin from Sanat Fund for MSME's Technical Assistance Facility to give opening words today for all of you. Now, Katia, you have the floor, and I will be sharing, changing my screen. You can introduce yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia, and good morning to everyone, and welcome also from our side to this webinar on sustainable microfinance in Jordan, which, as was mentioned, is supported by the Sanat Technical Assistance Facility. I would like to thank all the organizers, Natalia and the team, also our colleagues from TAMEYA who are participating today, FinDev Gateway, our media partner, and also all the speakers and participants who are joining. We are, from our side, very pleased to facilitate this very important discussion with our Jordanian partners on the topic. From the Sanat side, promoting sustainable financial practices is an important part of the fund's mission to support growth and employment, encourage innovation, and build inclusive ecosystems So as a reminder, Natalia, you can go to the mission slide. The fund finances micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises and low-income households in the Middle East, North and Sub-Saharan Africa via qualified local lenders. And the technical assistance facility supports the mission of the fund and deploys effective, targeted, and innovative technical assistance measures to maximize the impact and outreach of the fund's development financing activities. So in our activities, the Technical Assistance Facility promotes entrepreneurship and MSME development through its core themes. You can see them on the screen: sustainability, women empowerment, or female empowerment, agricultural finance, and digitalization. And we have recently developed our sustainability program, through which the TA facility aims to strengthen the capacity of our partners and also MSMEs to help them mitigate and adapt to the impacts of climate change, and thus continue delivering economic value and growth. So Natalia, you can go to the slide with the actual program that summarizes it. Next one. Exactly. So as you can see, as part of our sustainability program, we focus both on sector activities to raise awareness and facilitate knowledge exchange, something that we are doing today here with you. And then also on activities at partner and MSME level to help them gain basic knowledge and provide more in-depth targeted support and topics, as you can see on the slide, including sustainability strategy development, sustainable agriculture, climate risk management, ENS and ESG monitoring and compliance. So today's webinar on sustainable microfinance in Jordan is the third webinar in our webinar series, which is taking place in the MENA countries. And we'll cover the results of the study that was conducted last year. And we'll also discuss with our partners the situation and the developments in this field in Jordan. So I hope this discussion you'll find it interesting and productive. In case you have any questions to us, feel free to reach out. Here's the contact information, and also my colleague Almudena is present on the call and will be happy to address any questions. So with this, I'll hand over back to you, Natalia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Katya. And yeah, while we change back again to the slides, here as we are going to present, we are starting with a presentation from Mrs. Nisrin Al-Kasefna from Tanmeya, and then having an overview of the results that we had from the study, focusing on the results from Jordan, and then we will hear the experiences from two microfinance institutions, from Tamwilcom and Macrofund for Women, and then close the interventions again with Tanmeya with an overview of the challenges and opportunities, and then we will have an open discussion with you as participants. So I will just... Sorry, I need here. You see now, but again, my screen?
Yes.
Good. The right window? Yes?
Yes, we see.
Yes.
Good. So Nisrin, the floor is yours. You hear as well, Nisrin? Your microphone is off.
This is okay.
Yes, now we're hearing you.
Thank you, Natalie. Before we start, allow me to express our sincere thanks to all team and particularly for Senate Finance in Motion team represented by Mrs. Katrina for the continuous support and keep on cooperation with our sector, as well for your appreciated effort, Hidira, and the given offers to make this webinar a success. Thank you for all. Thank you for the attendees. First of all, our microfinance sector is about explain the topics that gonna to be covered at this my presentation. For Tanmia, the microfinance, the topics are, the first one, I will give an introduction for Tanmia, then I will go through different topics. Just can you move to another slides, please, Natalie? Yes. Let's say about Tanmia Jordan Microfinance Network. It was established and formally registered as non-profit institution and the Ministry of Industry and Trade in 2007. It was incepted as the official representative for the microfinance institution in Jordan. Just to focus on that, our microfinance institution licensed from Central Bank of Jordan, that all policies and strategies reverted back to the regulations of Central Bank of Jordan. For the importance of our institution, it's a crucial component of the financial sector in many countries, particularly in developing economies. Microfinance institutions provide financial services such as loans to low-income individual and small business that lack access to traditional banking institutions. For the objectives that Tanmia work on from the start date, Tanmia main objective is to develop sustainable microfinance industry to become an integral part of the national financial system in Jordan. For the rules, there are different rules and gonna be updated for Tanmia. Tanmia supporting the further development of the microfinance industry, providing advocacy and awareness raising on behalf of its members, promoting information and new development and trends in the industry. As well, Tanmia support the implementation and the appropriate regulatory environment and gathers performance and benchmarking data for the sector. For the hello. This is the rules of Tanmia. If you notice for the these circles, this is a brief for the rules that are conducted by Tanmia. It's an official representation for our institution, as well. Tanmia make a lobbying and advocacy with alliances. It covers the sector capacity building for both for the staff and clients based on the need assessment for each and educational level. Works as benchmarking. In addition, that Tanmia works and issue quarterly report. It's about the performance sector. There is an updated details, and we are the only sector that we update our records, update our details, update where we are going and where is the gaps, where is the needs for our clients, our branches. So this is in brief Tanmia's objectives. You can focus on it, but I brief it in the circle. Second page, please. For Tanmia's members, Tanmia member, we have 9 institutions, or as I mentioned before, we all our MFIs licensed from Central Bank of Jordan. All are has certain policies and strategies. Plus, we have 2 international company, Vitas and Finca. So, صندوق Microfund for Women, تمويلكم أهلي for Microfinance, Islamic and Namudaji Islamic for Microfinance, Vitas as well, National Microfinance Bank, the Microfinance Department in Norwa, Al-Amin for Microfinance as well, Finca. For the core values that we work on, we have to be transparent in our data that we work on, plus equity and equality for the treatment for all members that includes under the umbrella of Tanmiya, adherence to microfinance best practices and regulations. We have to be good governors and supporting environment-friendly enterprise. For the topics that is related for the sustainable finance strategies, we have such topics we have to focus on. This is the main topic. These factors are significant in driving sustainable financial practices in all. Just to make that sustainable finance main principles, it's about environmental responsibility, social inclusion, governance and transparency, risk management. These factors, they help investor evaluate companies based on the ECG practices and encourage companies to adopt sustainable practices that can help mitigate risks and improve long-term financial performance, and that is our goals. If you're gonna to explain for each topics that we work in, for the environmental responsibility, if the main factors that we have to do or to go through that evaluates how a company safeguards the environment, including corporate policies addressing climate change, energy use, waste pollution, natural resources conservation, and treatment of animals. To help evaluate any environmental risks of a company might face and how the company is managing those risks, because it's important for each to have a risk policies. To limit harmful pollutants and chemicals, seeks to lower greenhouse gas emissions and CO2 footprint and uses renewable energy resources. For the other topics, social inclusions represent, let's say, practices that benefit the company's employees, consumers, and the wider community. It examines how a company manages relationships with the employees, suppliers, customers, and the communities where it cooperates. And as well, we have to help our investors as an Tanmiya, as official representative, to evaluate company social impact of how its commitment to ethical business practices. This is one of our new strategies for Tanmiya in the 2024. Governance and transparency refers to maintaining honest and transparent accounting practices and regulatory compliance. Deals with companies' leadership, executive pay, audits, internal controls, and shareholder rights. Help ensure that companies are led by accountable managers and are responsible stewards of the environment, in addition to provides a way to measure business risks and opportunities in various sustainability and ethical issues. For the risk management, this is the last topic. This is a critical subject because it helps investors to evaluate the company risk management practices and how it is managing the environmental and social risk, and it provides a way to measure business risks and opportunities in various sustainability and various and ethical issues, and encourage companies to adopt sustainable best practices that help to mitigate risks and improve long-term financial performance. Now, when we go through to zoom in Jordan status, we have so many sustainable finance strategies and many attempts to achieve the main principles that we have talked about. We have an economic modernization vision. Jordan economic modernization vision includes the sustainability as let's say, cornerstone of the vision, and the Green Bond initiative further align with this vision. The other things, we have green finance product for the industrial sectors. MFI have started. It's not any way to start. They started and they have achieved successful story to develop inclusive green finance products for the industrial sector. Our sector as microfinance, it focuses on adding a new products, to add a new innovation, let's see, aligned with the creating job policies. and it's something that's gonna be as a need from the environment. We should consider here solely the renewable energy products. The other things that the coherent sustainable investment strategies. Jordan can implement more coherent sustainable strategies. How? By strengthening coordination across the ministries and let's say the local institutes or entities, and by engaging public, private, and this is what we are intent to as microfinance sector. We are a part of holistic entity, so we have to make many engagement for the public and mix public, private, and sectoral dialogues. The last thing that we focus in, and it's intended by our, it's a need for our sector, it's building capacity to raise the awareness in the financial sector. We have to update our clients. We have to update the data for our beneficiaries. And this is the first and foremost agenda for the sector. MFIs must focus on building capacity, both in terms of human resources, infrastructure. This is too important to operate efficiently and effectively the manpower. Despite these challenges, MFI provide many benefits to individual, and it's the first things in our budgets and the first things in our strategies in each beginning of the year, and how to develop our clients or our staff to introduce a benefit to individual, to small business, including the access to financial service, improves livelihoods, and decrease economic growth and development.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nisreen, for this,
Thank you.
this initial introduction on the work of Tanmiyya, or also understanding what is the microfinance sector in Jordan looks like, and how are those strategies on sustainable finance and the elements of it that we will be touching base during our discussion today. As we have commented from Sanat, Katya, and from my side, we were very keen on having this series and this session in order to share with you what have been the results of the study on sustainable microfinance that we have conducted last year, and that in this semester we will be analyzing the results country by country. So let me dive into the study. As this study, we started with a data collection, a survey that was that took place from July up to August, September last year, and then we had a workshop. And from this study, what we have done is participation from several microfinance institutions across the region. And in this case, we are going to focus on the results from Jordan, from the 6 institutions that have participated. So based on the results, this is what we have found, what is the penetration of green microfinance in the country. How we have measured this is with a framework that it's called the Green Microfinance Penetration Index. This framework has as objective to understand what is the development of green microfinance in our region, considering the work of the financial service provider, but also on the environment where the institution is working. That means external factors that are not directly influenced by the microfinance institutions, but rather local context. And there we have 3 dimensions, and it's first the enabling environment, where we have different indicators. What is the demand? What are the regulations? What are the partners? What are dedicated programs? And we have different levels from none, low, medium, up to high. The results from the microfinance institutions in Jordan in this dimension are very low, and compared to the results from the MENA region are also very low. Let's consider here that we are talking about past year. There were not yet advancements on the National Financial Inclusion Strategy on its green components, so we will have some updates very soon on how this enabling environment will increase. And here, what we will see further in the results about what is the context. We have found partners that are interested in working with microfinance institutions, but not yet dedicated programs supporting the institutions specifically in this subject. The second dimension is execution. So what are the environmental strategy and risk management that institutions are implementing in green microfinance? That means we are measuring if the institutions have vision and mission, or already implementing an environmental strategy, if they are reporting their KPIs, how is the risk management at the institutional level, and as well, how is the risk management at the client level in regards to clients' vulnerability and also the negative impacts on the environment of the activities of the clients. And here we have as well several assessments from beginner, basic, proficient, and advanced. In the case of Jordan, we see some institutions that have already started in their implementation, so they have good execution scoring. And from all the dimensions, this is the one with the highest scoring, but still lower than the average in the region. And the last dimension is the offer. So on the offer, we are having a look to what are microfinance institutions offering to the clients in green financial products and non-financial services, and what are the outreach of those products. We have half of the institutions without yet any dedicated offer, and others that have already advanced, but still as shared before, and in the other dimensions, the scores are rather low compared to the other countries in the region. So let's go more in depth on the results. When we were talking about the context, we're having a look to, is there a specific regulation in your country that obliges the organization to take action? Institutions replied no. Are there regulations or policies providing benefits or recommending you to take action on environmental protection? As well, no, or they don't know. And any program, and only one institution mentioned yes, they are participating in a program. About the strategy, institutions indicated that only two institutions have in their plan environment protection or climate resilient concepts. They have one institution has a person in charge or committee managing all environmental topics, but have good news that half of the institutions are planning to integrate all these aspects, reporting person strategic plan, and also even reporting to the public. And then besides the strategy, so we have already covered what is the context. Now we're on the dimension of execution. We had a look to the strategy. Now we're having a look to the risk management. And at the client level, one institution is training clients on practices to reduce or avoid negative impacts on the environment, or supporting clients to develop businesses promoting green practices or products, while the others are still past last year where they weren't yet offering these services. Activities related to risk management at the client level, if we see what has been implemented, the good news is that there are already plans from institutions in order to conduct this type of activities for their clients. So we see there are interest in supporting the clients in the development of their business, interest in training them, and also to offer services to respond to environmental shocks. Then we see as well very little awareness on what are the climate risks of the clients, and also what are the environmental impacts of the activities that the institutions have. So only one institution mentioned that they are aware of the different climate risks, heat waves, cold waves, droughts, etc. And then we have as main adverse environmental impacts, one institution mentioned the carbon emissions from machinery, mismanagement of waste, pollution using raw materials or chemicals in water, air, land. Activities related to risk management at the level of the institution. Currently, or by 2022, institutions were categorizing loan applications according to environmental risk assessment. 2 institutions doing performing environmental risk analysis of the loan applications, training staff to reduce or avoid negative impacts, conducting market assessment, studies to understand the level of access to energy, access to clean water, or demand for green products. So still very low number, but the good news as well, many institutions are already aware of these activities and are planning them in their agenda. Then on the challenges for the implementation of risk management practices at the level of the institution, the microfinance institutions mentioned about they have challenges in the lack of knowledge, lack of proper tools. It's very complex, the topic at the institutional level, and they lack collaboration with other stakeholders. Well, I think it's very curious this, but also very a clear message from all the institutions. They said they lack proper tools to manage the environmental risks at the level of the clients. So this can be a very straightforward action for the institutions. And then we go to the third dimension, that it's the offer. We see offering sustainable agriculture, still very little from one institution in regards to crop production, sustainable practices in livestock management, waste management, and the barriers, and here comparing what are the barriers distinguishing between established, mature, and young institutions. The level of complexity is the highest or the most expressed barrier, lack of collaborations, need more support from investors, a lack of demand, need more support from the government. And as we see, established institutions still consider this topic complex. So here also support in know-how or technical know-how is needed for the institutions. In regards to the offer of green financial products for households and MSMEs, there are institutions offering financing for renewable energy technologies, for energy efficiency measures, drinking water solutions, waste management, other. And what are the source of funds for green products? We see only one institution with an investor credit line, and then alliances. One institution has one partner for offering these green loans. So closing on this overview for Jordan, we have the stakeholders that could support. They mentioned investors, consultants, local authorities, networks, governmental agencies, regulators, rating agencies, and NGOs. And lastly, despite the low advanced yet in green finance, I think it's good news to know that there is already knowledge on social performance management tools of microfinance institutions. And they know, for instance, the universal standards for social and environmental performance management, the Green Index tool, or half of some institutions know at least one of the tools, but still there is some work to do in order to support institutions in getting guidance with these tools that can help institutions in working on their environmental performance management. So with this overview, we have another light on what is happening in Jordan compared to the experiences that we have before discussed in Yemen and Tunisia, are very different contexts, but here now we are with the stakeholders to discuss more on the developments of sustainable microfinance in the country. So with this, let me now give the floor to Mrs. Abir Obva from Tamwilcom.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you for Sanad Finance in Motion, Hedera, and Tanmia for this webinar. Actually, we are very interested in this topic, and it's very important, especially in Jordan and for microfinance. Let's start introducing Tamwilcom. Tamwilcom is the Jordan microfinance company established in 1999. Since then, we have now, after 24 years in market, Tamwilcom now has a portfolio of 63 million with about 100,000 active clients. Tamwilcom start developing and implementing green initiatives since maybe 5 to 6 years. Starting from this initiative start from the board of directors and the management, knowing the impact of implementing environmental management system that could reduce the environmental negative impacts. So if you, Natalia, move to the next slide, please. The next slide also. We already use wheeling PVs for electricity source of electricity in headquarters and 18 of our branches. This reduces the efficiency and enhance the efficiency and reduce the electricity consumption as a renewable energy. We also use hybrid cars for internal transportation. So this is reduce the gas and CO2 consumption. Also reduce the fuel consumption. For example, in 2019, we reduced the use of fuel from 28,000 liters to 12, which is more than the half of our gas or fuel use. Move to the next slide, please. Besides implementing internal initiative in Tamwilcom to develop environmental system, we also move these initiatives and leading the environmental initiatives by categorize the projects that we finance regarding the environmental assessment. We have environmental system policy in place that categorize the project to A, B, C regarding the risks of environmental risks. So we usually not finance any project that or enterprise that become under the A risks, which is very high risk. Regarding B risk, we study the environmental impact for this project and then goes to approval before finance. And for C, which has the less environmental impact, we finance directly. So this is part of the credit approval, the environmental process. Also, part of the environmental initiatives that we internally implement is the digital transformation, which is directly involve and minimize the use of paper. For example, instead of many visits to branch to apply for official letter, the client now can use the mobile application to submit, ask for the official letter, pay for the fees, and then the official letter received by SMS instead of first visit to, for example, apply for the official letter and pay the fees, and then come to receive the official letter. So this help to reduce the paper and to reduce the visits. Also, all of our receipt voucher for the payments can be received by SMS. We not use the paper anymore. Plus the availability of digital financial services that provided to our client. So the client can pay in his house, anywhere. This is part of our strategy actually. So the client can get the financial services anytime and anywhere. Okay, next slide. We do not stop right here. We also using energy efficiency appliances in our headquarters and in our branches, using LED lighting, inverter ACs. We also have partnership with Jordan Environmental Society for paper recycling in head office and in 8 branches in Amman. And it's a word to say here that our core values updated since the beginning of this year to include the environmental responsibility. So one of our core values is the environmental and social responsibility. So what we are going to do next, Tamwilcom is planning to develop and implement ESG strategy, as we have a lot of initiatives in place. In addition, that we will launch specialized green and agriculture products, which could not take place without partnership with funders, local technology provider, and the buy-in from employees, to reduce also the change management by capacity building for these employees. So this is our plan, inshallah, will be in this year and next year. So I hope that I did not take more time. Thank you, Natalia.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Abir. And it's very nice to see also the evolution of your work, seeing how have been the development since last year, the first assessment.
Mm-hmm.
And now with this overview from what you're doing and looking at your plans, we would like now to have a look also to the experience from a second microfinance institution, that it's Microfund for Women, and here represented by Mrs. Badur Al-Khari. Mrs. Badur?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for organizers, Sanad and Hidayah Tanmiya and Fendiv Gateway and all of the participants today. I'm happy to present MFW Microfund for Women journey in this important topic. First of all, let me just give those who don't know about MFW a brief introduction about it. MFW started in 1996, and we started to expand in Jordan as a leading microfinance institution. So far, we have more than 140,000 active borrowers with a portfolio of 80 million GOD. We have almost 30% market share in Jordan. We have 62 branches. We cover all areas in Jordan. Our focus, our mission is to support women and vulnerable segments of our local communities. Proudly, we have got more than 31 local and international awards on best practices. So this is Microfund for Women in general, and our services are under 3 main pillars: financing the segment that we serve, developing it through trainings and market linkages, and protecting them through providing them with microinsurance and other health related services. Going back to the topic of green technologies and financing, there is a big question why MFW wanted to do this. First, believing in our mission, it's in our mission to provide sustainable financial and non-financial services to the segment that we are serving to achieve better life conditions. So linking it to understanding the Jordanian economy situation and all the challenges that we are having in our Jordanian economic factors and the opportunities that we have when it comes to green energy solutions and the weather that we enjoy. We have 8 months of hot sun throughout the year, and this is very unique. Jordan has this unique proposition. Looking at the challenges in the economy, the opportunities, and understanding the mission and the motive that we know if we impact the segment that we are serving, it's very challenging to convince them with green energy, but we know very well when they adapt it, it will be very impactful. It will be very scalable. It will make a difference in Jordan and the Jordanian economy and at the life of our beneficiaries. So this is what triggered us, knowing all these aspects. So we decided to have a roadmap, one internally for MFW and another one for our beneficiaries. Internally, we conducted lots of assessments through consultants to help us identify what are the areas that we can invest on to be a model ourselves in making better environment. And yes, and the other thing, believing in the economy and the environment factors, we believe how important this topic is, especially recently with the heat waves that happened. We believe that this is very important. So we wanted MFW to be an example, and it's not easy in Jordan, and no laws make it obligatory for us to follow. So it's us that we want to do this. Maybe similar to Tomilcom experience, internally we have digital transformation strategy where it enabled us to offer lots of services. Now all our dispersed loans are through e-wallet, and also the repayment. We have 25% of our beneficiaries repay to us using also digital channels. We have automated lots of our internal processes and services. The usage of the papers inside MFW recently has been reduced by 90%, which is a huge achievement, I believe, in using the paper. Our marketing campaigns and printed papers, we stopped all these printed documents in our branches. And also our services, we have a mobile application. Our trainings, we still have the training rooms, but we have developed lots of e-trainings. Even the market linkages initiatives that we promote, we also now are promoting e-commerce for our beneficiaries through different platforms. And at the beneficiary level, we developed a loan, which is Taqati. Its name is Taqati. And this loan offers lots of solutions for our beneficiaries, where they can get access to solar PV system, energy efficient appliances, electric cars, or solar water heaters at a very preferred interest rate in the market, along with educational sessions, because we believe and we have seen that it's not only having these energy saving appliances inside the house, it's the behavior that needs also to be controlled and to be changed. So we added the trainings and the educational sessions to both our staff and our beneficiaries. as a requirement at MFW. We have developed with partners a database or a portal to guide the beneficiaries on the best appliances or solar PV systems that can be beneficial for them. So I will give just an example to see when I told you this is very impactful. We have a beneficiary from the southern region of Jordan, a very humble. She lived in a very humble conditions in Jordan. She wanted a loan at the beginning to have a coffee house to support the income of her family. But because the coffee house needed machines that uses lots of electricity, so the bills were really harming the success of her business. So during the discussion with our branch employees, she got to know about this loan, and she attended a session, and she took another loan where she got a solar panel PV system and a PV system in specific. And she saved around more than, she said, around 300 JDs from the electricity bill. She saved it, which enabled her to succeed better in her coffee place in the southern region. So this is in general what we are doing for the, and also we offered a couple of our beneficiaries with training on green audit, so they can support and help the families in the neighboring region to know about green energy and to help them audit their houses and identify what they need to do. For the next steps, we are discussing with Sanad, our partner, how to do a green audit for MFW as a first step, and from it to go to strategizing for green energy for MFW through our clear roadmap. And we would like also for next year to do an impact assessment for those who have received, as I said, we have served more than 1,800 beneficiaries with around 1.5 million dispersed amounts. So we want to from the beginning to capture the impact and to see what were the challenges to review what we are offering to our beneficiaries. Is there a time to talk a little bit about challenges, or let's keep it for questions maybe?
Yeah, I think everything that you are sharing is very interesting, but I will say let's, for the sake of time, then let's have the introduction from Nisrin about like how are the challenges for the microfinance sector and related to sustainable microfinance for Jordan, and then we can come back right after the challenges to address to both Microfund for Women and also Tam Welcome. What have been your experiences? So thank you, Badur. And now we will go here again, back Nisrin, giving you the microphone. Your microphone is muted.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Abir. Thank you, Badur, for sharing your experience. I think I'm proud that I'm a part of our microfinance sector. When we talked about the challenges that face the microfinance sector, to position ourselves to make a more lasting impact as we grow. This is the focus that we are growing, and this is a challenge for us because to increase our borrowers, it's a challenge for us to know how to build their capacity, how to make them aware for the holistic mandate for the microfinance. This is a challenge. So let's brief the challenges in the microfinance sector in Jordan, hindering the sustainable finance. First and foremost,
sorry for the interruption. Just a reminder about the speed for the interpreters. Okay.
Okay, so
a little bit slower. We have
limited with the
time.
time duration for that. Yeah, I'm making speed. Okay.
No worries. We have still 35 minutes. This is the last
Okay.
intervention,
Okay.
and people are using the translation. Are connected
So
to
shall
the.
I repeat what I have said?
No, I think it's fine. We can
It's fine.
continue
Okay.
just in the next slides. Remember.
Yes, to brief the challenges in the microfinance sector in Jordan, it's hindering the sustainable finance. It's the first and foremost point, it's accessing to funding. MFIs in Jordan need help accessing affordable funding sources, which can limit their ability to expand their operations. We can go through our operations, we can to update our policies and strategies without funding. This is the real that we have to confess all for that. This limits our ability to expand our operation or serve more extensive client base down. Limited access to capital can also affect our ability to, let's say, to offer competitive interest rates of power. This is the brief for the access of funding. The second thing that we have to highlight the challenge of risk management. Managing credit risk in microfinance can be challenging, especially when dealing with clients with limited credit histories. This is a challenge. Ensuring responsible lending practices and preventing over indebtedness is a crucial thing, but can be, on the other side, it could be complex. The third thing is that the outreach. Before to talk about the outreach, that it's a dilemma or challenge for the outreach to underserved populations. As a microfinance sector, we achieved the only successful story to reach to different regions in the kingdom through our branches which is distributed in all branches, which make other sides or other sectors need help or support from the microfinance to implement such activities to be implemented in the regions in the kingdom. There is a progress. There is a progress in expanding access to microfinance in Jordan and reaching to most vulnerable and marginalized population, such as refugees or women in the rural area. And this is remain a challenge. We have to expand and to make comprehensive strategies to let's remain to make to remove the barriers for accessing the financial services. So I have to focus here that microfinance institution in all, that's under our TANMI umbrella, giving more priority to the governorates, to the far regions, rural areas, and the poverty pockets inside and outside Amman. The objective for that to offer more focused outreach to enhance development in the kingdom by providing better services to the targeted segment that includes productive and low-income people. For that, we have so many strategies. We need more collaboration with the funders, with the investors, to go through more to the far regions, particularly in the south, because it requires high cost and high logistics in the south. It's far regions, but we have to focus in the south and training for the clients as well. This is a comparison table that the latest reports of TANMIA. This shows that there is a growth for our active borrowers as well. There is an interest for the outside and outside Amman shows that about 68% that they are interested and they are work with us with microfinance institution. All of them are located outside Amman in terms of borrowers, branches, and portfolios investments. The other page, please. Economic and political stability. The stability of the economic and political environment can impact the microfinance sector. Its downturns can lead to increased default rates and financial stability within the sector. As well, we have a point for the technology and infrastructure. The other slide. Technology and infrastructure, it's another challenge to expand access to digital financial services in the rural area as well. This can be challenging due to limited infrastructure and low levels of technology adoption among some target populations. So here we have to make to state this challenge as in our sector, it's still a challenge. To address this challenge, it's essential for stakeholders, including the governmental, MFIs, donors, and development organizations, to work collaboratively to create supportive regulatory environment, to enhance, let's say, financial literacy, improve access to funding, and develop tailored solutions that meet the unique needs of the Jordan microfinance clients. So this is the challenges. It can be, we can state it in front of the opportunities or chances that for the microfinance sector in Jordan. The other space, please. The other one. Let's say the first solutions. The other, please, Natalia. The other page, financial inclusions. Financial inclusions, it could be an opportunity for the microfinance as well for the all sector to submit as solutions, or let's say opportunity to enhance our sector. Jordan has made progress in increasing financial inclusion, and significant portion of the population for the unbanked people or underbanked. Microfinance institution can play a crucial role here in reaching these underserved segment and providing them with the access to financial service. The other page for MSME development to supporting micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise. It's essential for economic growth in Jordan. MFIs can offer loans and financial services tailored to the needs of the entrepreneurs and small businesses, helping them grow and create shop. The last opportunity that we focus on, and it's a chance for the MFIs, because about 68 of our borrowers are women. We have to focus on women empowerment. Promoting gender equality and women's economic empowerment is a priority in Jordan. And as you say, my colleague Budur and Abir from Microfund for Women and Tamwilcom, they mentioned that how we are focusing on gender equality. MFI and all MFIs are focusing on offering financial products and services that specially target women entrepreneurs, and helping them how to start and expand and develop their businesses. And if you notice, this is the latest report. In the other page, please, Natalia. As our report for quarter 2, 2023, the latest percentage for the women borrowers in MFI, it's about 67%, which is a good one. But as I told you, this is a challenge as well, how to grasp those women paper and make awareness strategy training for them. This is a challenge for the microfinance. The other points for the opportunity, it's the technology and digital services and adoption for that concept. It's on the rise. It's on the rise on Jordan. So as you all see, that MFIs deals with uneducated people, unserved people, and they are located in the far regions. This is good opportunity for MFI to work in digitalization and technology services for those, and can leverage this technology to expand that reach and offer mobile banking, digital payment, and online loan application, and making financial services more accessible and convenient. The latest things is the one before the latest, the social impact invest. I think that this is an
Nisri,
yes.
here I would like just to make a parenthesis, and here we're talking about the opportunities, the challenges and opportunities of the microfinance sector that are hindering not only the development of the microfinance sector, but also green finance. Yeah, so
this is in all green finance gonna be as a subtopics for these opportunities. When you go through the details, there is we will take more than time duration, but this is an opportunity.
Yeah, I'm addressing some comments in the chat, so that if you can do also the connection of those opportunities and challenges related to green microfinance, to sustainable microfinance, then we can also further discuss in the questions about this. And
yes, I received, there is such chats for requesting the contact details. Or
very good. So now let's continue, and yeah, and remember about the speed for the interpreters. We have time. We are good with time.
Sorry, apologize for the interpreter. Let's say the partnership, it's an opportunity for the microfinance, and we focus on that collaboration between MFIs, banks, fintech companies, and other stakeholders can create, let's say, synergies and expand the reach of microfinance service. Partnership can help MFIs access new funding, adding a new product, adding a new innovation, particularly for the green finance, and develop the technology solution. For the refugee support, this is a chance for the MFIs. It's a crisis in Jordan, and they present a challenge and an opportunity for the microfinance sector. And we know all that we have such a problems in guarantees and other problems. So for the microfinance host a significant number of refugees, and many of them face economic challenges. Many refugees seek opportunities. It's in the other page, Natalia. Refugees, yes. Many refugees seek self-employment opportunities, representing a largely untapped market for the microfinance. MFI can collaborate with a humanitarian organization. It's potential for them to provide financial assistance and support to refugees, to enable them to become financially self-reliant. So to capitalize on these opportunities, our stakeholder in Jordan, this is a brief that Jordan microfinance sector should work together to develop innovative solutions, expand outreach, and ensure that the sector remains responsive to the evolving needs of its clients and the broader economy. Thank you, and apologize for hurry up.
No worries, Nisrin. I will just make a pause again back in your last message that I will say it's a message for each of the countries in the MENA region, also an example of a testimony of why are we developing this webinar series, dedicating in a very intense schedule on a weekly basis time to exchange with microfinance institutions, stakeholders from around the region and beyond, to discuss about these topics. We are now.
But allow me, Natalie, the last phase, that let us exchange with each other. Let's see what others do regarding, particularly for the green finance.
Yes.
We have a successful story as well in Tunisia, as well in Yemen. So let's exchange our stories and exchange our experts to do more than development.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. And I see here while you were talking at the end, there have been some questions and some interest of listening more. And I think, Bodur, because we just closed in your challenges, I will say before we go to the questions, do you identify with the challenges that Nisrin mentioned? Do you have any other one that you would like also to bring to the floor that has been experienced by Microfund for Women?
Yeah, yes. Talking like starting from the last point, expanding outreach, having innovative solutions. There are lots of huge ideas. When we started back in 2018 studying what we can do, we brought lots of huge creative ideas. However, regulations at that time, things are getting better right now, but
Yeah.
regulations and having several authorities regulating the electricity is regulated by certain national entities. However, green energy is promoted by another entity. There's competition, and regulations sometimes serve certain entity on the favor of other entity. But
Yes.
there was lots of restrictions back in 2018. Things now are better, but still there are lots of restrictions, especially, for example, if we want to ourselves have PV systems, we can't do it because our branches are rental. We don't own them. So we need a farm to do this. Still, there are lots of complications when it comes to this. And even our beneficiaries, to do this, they need to go through lots of paperwork with government to get approval, which might take months. And so they need to start the loan and then go and take approvals and come back to move on with the loan. So lots of complications. Things are progressing. Like I have seen improvement in some regulations, but I believe this is one of the things. The other thing is the education and behavior, because we have seen also from the early cases that some beneficiaries who invested on green energy saving appliances, their behavior has become very bad. They believed, okay, I can have the electricity all the time, so they didn't see a difference at the end of the day, and also the aim was not achieved. So also this is important, education and behavior change, and believing in what we are doing.
Yeah, on the because we have here other countries and they have also this partnership with suppliers. Can you describe how much time does it take for the approval? And so how will be the process if they ask for authorization of the installation and then the loan is already running, or only and then the approval, when does it come?
The approval, it differs on the amount and the size of the solar panel. I'm talking now at the solar panel. Appliances, it doesn't need any approval. It's just like let's classify it. When it comes to home appliances, it's what they need. The challenge is knowing a good quality, getting a good quality appliances, because sometimes there are in the market bad quality, which negatively impact the whole thing, because they invest on getting very expensive appliances, and this will be useless after like a couple of months, which is a bad investment. So, and we solved this through our partnership with EBRD in the existing loan, where there is a database where we check the quality of these appliances. In PV system, it depends on the size of the PV system. There are certain bureaucracy in getting approval. However, the improvement that happened is that for households who get subsidy from the government on their electricity, the paperwork and the procedures has become less, and I believe to a certain level they waived them from the procedures, which is very helpful. That's why I'm saying the government maybe has put efforts to make progress in making things a little bit easier on people.
Very good. So we're on the right path.
We are, yes.
To ease the processes. So let's give now.
And for the product, just yes, we have a running product right now. As I said, we have around 1,800. We have dispersed to around 108,800 borrowers to help them in green energy.
1,800?
1,800, yes. Persons.
Persons.
With the portfolio of 1.5 Jordanian dinar.
Yeah. Very good. So I'd like to give the floor to the participants that have been sharing their questions in the chat. To my understanding, there was already Leila Ouled, that you wanted, perhaps you wanted to open the microphone and video and share the questions, or do you want me to read? So I'll go with the first question. So she says, there have been many successful experiments, and also surely there have been encounters with some regulatory, institutional, and other obstacles. Have you thought within the program plan to propose solutions allowing the scaling up and sustainability of good experiences and allowing obstacles to be removed? Is there any short way? Is there any best practice that you have seen that could work in order to remove those challenges that you have? Microphone, Abir, Tamir.
Can I speak?
Yes. Leila, yes, you are connected? Yes, we hear you.
Hi, everybody. Since there is a translator, I can speak French.
Yes, if you want to speak French, then let us go to the English channel. If Nisreen, Abir,
Yes.
you might, yes. So if you are already in the French channel, then for the interview, you can, pose your question in French.
Merci pour les présentations, c'était très intéressant. Moi, en voyant toutes les expériences qui sont partout dans les pays, je pense à ce que comment peut-on généraliser, il y a beaucoup de bonnes expériences, comment peut-on généraliser ces expériences au niveau des pays, et est-ce que vous avez la possibilité de travailler et d'échanger, de discuter avec les décideurs pour qu'ils mettent en place de nouveaux mécanismes ou qu'ils changent, qu'ils fassent un petit changement au niveau de cadre réglementaire pour que les bonnes expériences soient élargies à plus grande échelle. Par exemple, en Tunisie, moi personnellement, je travaillais sur le programme photovoltaïque et on a mis en place un mécanisme où le secteur bancaire participe, les sociétés privées participent et l'organisme public avec la subvention participe. Aussi, dans le domaine de l'agriculture, il y a une bonne expérience, tout ce qui est valorisation des déchets végétaux par les agriculteurs et utilisés pour les bétails. Et on a mis en place un mécanisme de financement où l'État et le secteur bancaire peuvent intervenir pour permettre aux petits éleveurs d'acheter cette machine qui permet de broyer tous les déchets végétaux. Et c'était aussi une réussite pour élargir, ce mécanisme a permis d'élargir à des milliers d'utilisateurs. Donc, c'est ça ma question. Peut-on capitaliser ces bonnes expériences Et est-ce qu'il y a possibilité dans votre programme de travailler avec, de proposer, travailler avec les décideurs politiques surtout pour changer et pour permettre les bonnes expériences de s'élargir et pour aussi lever quelques obstacles. Voilà. Merci.
Yeah, thank you very much, Leila, and good that you have been participating in the webinar series. As we have heard today from Tam Wilcom, from Microfinance for Women, from Tanmedia, there have been some work also with regulators, and also government are making efforts in supporting microfinance institutions. And as well from as we shared the last week, we were at the Global Policy Forum in Manila in Philippines, discussing with the central banks, and especially in the working group of inclusive green finance. There is work from the Central Bank of Jordan, and especially within the National Financial Inclusion Strategy, where there have been exchanges with the microfinance institutions. But I leave you here the floor, Abir, Nisri, and Buduri, if you can share more about that collaboration, that exchange that you have with regulators.
Maybe I start first. Okay. Would you like to start, Budur? Okay.
Go ahead, Abir, first.
Thank you. يعني Jordan, Central Bank of Jordan started by green financial inclusion strategy with the participation of MFIs, banks, and other governmental sectors in Jordan to expand the green finance in Jordan. And this is very important. As Budur mentioned, there is a lot of governmental procedure that could be complicated. So with a buy-in from the Central Bank of Jordan and the engagement of financial institutions to provide green loans, I think this could reduce the reduce the change in the market, in addition to more awareness and incentivize the persons to implement and encourage them to implement green appliances in their or PV systems. Regarding the obstacles that how we could reduce and scale up, I think the stakeholders and the involvement of all stakeholders could minimize the change management and take the buy-in from management, and board of directors could also ease scaling up by green loans.
Thank you, Abir. If I may add,
yes, please, Budur.
Yes, in addition to what Abir has mentioned, it's very nice of the Central Bank of Jordan. Now they have invited us to participate on the national strategy for the microfinance. So we are bringing these into discussions, because a governmental entity can talk better with other governmental entities. So we're very happy that we are participating. It's just right now we received a draft copy of the strategy. It didn't include, by the way, green energy issues, but now it's our role to bring it to the table, I believe, with them. And I'm glad that they give us this opportunity. Also, it's our role to advocate for because we are serving a segment that we need to speak on their behalf. So MFW ourselves, we were talking with Jurif, it's the Jordan Energy and Energy Efficiency Fund entity in Jordan. We always have talks with them and with the related ministries to advocate, to let them hear what we are doing. So ourselves also we do this, and I encourage any microfinance institution in any place, they need to stand for the segments that they are serving. We need to just convey their challenges because sometimes they can't do this themselves.
Yeah, I like very much that message. The importance of sharing, of communicating, of listening also, and enabling this exchange so that different stakeholders can work together. We have also the question from Chokri Beltaif. I think you want to pose the questions directly with your microphone. So Chokri, if you are listening to us.
I hope, okay. You
Yes.
understand me?
Yes.
Okay, you listen me. Thank you. My first question to Tanmia. So,
Chokri, if you can introduce yourself, where are you coming from? And then
okay, I'm Shukri Beltaif. I'm a controller at the ACM Microfinance, Tunisian Microfinance Authority.
Thank you.
So,
welcome.
my first question is for Tanmia. So, as a networking, how Tanmia as a networking propose green microfinance development or regulation to the Central Bank of Jordan? As you mentioned, you have the national strategy, and have you other networking with with uh, with central bank? The second question is, do you have some advantages or some green micro finance products or no, or in the future do you propose some microfinance products for to propose to the central bank? My I have other question to Tamwil.com. Tamwil.com, do you have some specific microcredit product dedicated to green micro projects? For example, do you have some advantages such as low interest rate, for example, for a green micro investor? Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much for your questions. We have 3 minutes left of our meeting, and if there are more questions.
Thank you, Shukri. But
Nisreen,
based on
yes,
I understand first. Thank you, Shukri, for your question. Regarding Central Bank of Jordan's, we have so many agendas in common. Let's say, as I said, that we are a committee and national strategy. This is as let's say there is a content we are in the stage in designing the content. It's not implemented yet, but for the Central Bank of Jordan and partner our regulatory, let's say we consider Central Bank as a partner, not as a regulator, because they share with us all updated topics and what they are going to implement for their strategies. So for the green finance products or the proposed microfinance institution products, it's still in, let's say, in the content, and we design the content. It's not published yet. For the second question, really, I didn't understand you well. You can write it to me by message to minimize the time and turn the table to appear.
For the second question, do you have some advantages for green micro investor or a green micro? Do you have a green microfinance products? No. Or do you?
Not directly.
Will you propose some in the future, for example? Do you have some green microfinance product in Jordan?
So
We have
yeah, the microfinance network doesn't have directly a product on green microfinance.
Can I just facilitate a little bit?
Yes, Budur.
Yeah. So Tanmia does not offer products by itself directly to beneficiaries, Shukri. It is the association. However, us as microfinance institutions, we do have products, microcredit for beneficiaries where we serve them. And yes, we have facilities in Jordan. For example, MFW now is under a very important agreement with EBRD, where we're having very special supported privileged loan, really, where the beneficiary get 10% of what they pay, or of the cost of the machine or the PV system. They get it back as an incentive for them to encourage them get these energy saving solutions. I believe also Sanad have also a facility that also supports other aspects. So yes, and these such investors to be in Jordan and to be able to get them, it's approved by Central Bank of Jordan. However, Central Bank of Jordan didn't offer microfinance institutions any special loans so far related to green energy. But for other things they did. But for green energy, we did not get. They offered to banks. We know that they gave banks special loans, advantaged loans, but not for microfinance institutions. I hope that I answered your question.
Thank you
Allow
very
me,
much, Budur.
please,
Now,
Natalia,
Abir.
if you could
Yes.
have some time regarding to Tamwilcom. We already offer green loans, but not dedicated products. We offer green loans within the current products. But regarding to our plan, we are planning to have dedicated product regarding to agriculture and green product, for example, for renewable energy and energy efficiency appliances. The Jordan market is very competitive market regarding to credit, and offering a competitive interest rate is very a priority before offering these products, as we currently have green loans through banks, through other MFIs, as Budur mentioned also, regarding the microfund for women. Also, the service provider and PV provider to provide the credit actually in not regulated way, but it's already a competitive for MFIs in Jordan. So I agree with you, Shukri, that if we could have investors and funders from to provide loans to MFI institutions, could help to reduce the interest rate.
Thank you, Abir. And we have arrived to the end of our webinar today. If there are more questions, as we have shared over the presentations today, you have the contacts, emails from the speakers, and of course, still the chat open for sharing your final comments while I do the last messages for the next weeks. So as you know, this is a webinar series addressing what is the status of sustainable microfinance in each of the countries. We have had already the sessions for Yemen, Tunisia, today Jordan, and due to the holiday that has been announced for the 27th of September in Palestine, we have postponed and moved the session to be the last one on the 25th of October. That's why you have received these messages from Zoom that the session of next week has been deleted, and now we will have it by the end. So the next one will be on the 4th of October, the session for Egypt, and you are welcome to join us. And remember, the 25th of October, we will have the session for Palestine. This has been very engaging, very incredible sessions that we have had. These exchanges are very rich, and I hope also, as Roland Steinman was saying, that we can reflect on all these challenges and opportunities also for the green microfinance sector. And with this, I thank you, the speakers, the panelists, Abir, Budur, Nisrin for the co-organization, to the interpreters that have joined us today with your excellent work, the technical team of Edera supporting, and of course to Sanad Technical Assistance Facility to making this possible, and our media partner FinDev Gateway that will be sharing these experiences. To everyone, thank you for your participation, your questions.
Thank you.
And I hope this is a start also for further collaborations in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you.
Where are
Thank
you
you for
going
all.
to Sudan, Natalia?
To Ola, yes, we are going to share the recording sessions. They will be uploaded to the YouTube channel of Sanat, and then they will be also embedded into the website and further channels also from FinDev Gateway in Arabic, French, and the English portals. As well, the presentations have been translated, the previous ones, into French and Arabic as well. The Tunisian also into English, so you will have also access to them. We will be communicating when they are uploaded into the website. Now, thanks to you.
Thank you, Natalie. It's our pleasure
Thank
to
you,
share.
Natalia.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you, audience.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.